Executive producer Damon Lindelof unveiled the first episode of his new HBO series Watchmen at New York Comic-Con, giving us our first real idea what his sequel series to the iconic comic is all about. In short, HBO's Watchmen looks like it has the potential to be a faithful continuation of the Alan Moore Dave Gibbons classic, though it's also clearly a Lindelof production, as elliptical and challenging a viewing experience as his previous HBO show, The Leftovers. Oscar winner Regina King reteams with Lindelof as the star of this Watchmen. Her character is technically a former cop in Tulsa, Oklahoma, though she continues to wield a badge as Night Sister, a masked law enforcement officer who has a secret hideout, a cool car, and an even cooler costume. She is a force. She's also a mom and wife, married to Aquaman's Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and a close friend to Don Johnson's police chief. In the first episode, Angela finds herself on the trail of a white supremacist group called the 7th Cavalry after a murder, which of course is only the start of this story. But King already brings a sense of realness and urgency to this character that differentiates this Watchmen from its predecessors. If the original graphic novel was grounded, this show is even more so. Lindelof's Watchmen also doesn't seem to be about the original characters yet. Jeremy Irons is here as who we think is Ozymandias, he's never actually named, and Dr. Manhattan looms over the proceedings insomuch as he is an important historical figure now. But beyond that, the show so far is choosing to focus on new characters. Aside from Angela, there's her fellow masked cops, Looking Glass and Red Scare. Indeed, all the Tulsa police wear masks now, even while vigilantism is apparently illegal. It's an interesting inversion of the traditional Watchmen concept, but too early to know where it's all going beyond the idea that just maybe everyone is wearing a mask, whether you've literally got one on or not. As we know, Rorschach sent his journal to the media before being killed in the original story. As for how the information in it, the truth, was received by the world is unclear at the moment. But one effect of this is that the 7th Cavalry, that's a Custer's Last Stand reference by the way, have somehow taken on his iconography as their own, all wearing Rorschach mask knockoffs. The issue of race is central to this show in other ways. Reparations of some kind have been made to African American citizens in Tulsa, which is a source of resentment for others. Here, Lindelof is delving into an issue that is of course age-old, but also very much in the news of 2019. Just as references to the ticking doomsday clock permeated the original, a familiar tick-tock, tick-tock is heard here at times. Though the issue this story will be confronting isn't the Cold War, but a different conflict happening right where we live. Again, it's hard to say if this is too on the nose based on just one episode, but it's clear that this Watchmen is going to be about more than just people dressing up in costumes, as it should be. We'll see where the show goes from here, as the pilot is only just setting up a bunch of threads the future episodes will have to develop. At least one major character doesn't even show up, and Irons has nothing to do with the main story yet. Fans of The Leftovers, and detractors as well, know that the first season of the show tended to be a bit overly heavy at times, and it wasn't until season 2 that Lindelof and his team were able to find a unique balance between the heaviness and humor. Judging by our early look at it, Watchmen feels like it needs a dash of that humor as well at times, and that's probably coming. But all in all, for a series that probably shouldn't even exist, Alan Moore is so anti-adaptation and sequelization of his work that his name isn't even on this project, HBO's Watchmen so far is an intriguing endeavor, and we can't wait to see what's next. Watchmen debuts on HBO on October 20th, 2019. But in the meantime, for more New York Comic-Con coverage, check out our reaction to the first footage from Free Guy and new footage from The Kingsman. And be sure to subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.